my name is Michael Fine, and welcome to Envision Text CSS course. So this is the first lesson. As you can see, I have this text file open to help teach you the concepts better. And the first thing you should know is that CSS actually stands for Cascading Style Sheets. So CSS is all about style. That's designing a web page. That basically changes how it looks. You can change the color, the orientation of the text, and many other things. But to start, there are three types of CSS. Type 1, external CSS, specifically through a style sheet. I've written it in all caps, so you don't forget this. Type 2, internal CSS. That's pretty much bringing the style sheet into the actual HTML file using the style tag. It does have a closing tag. And type 3, which is inline CSS. Basically, that's inserting CSS into the actual HTML tags. So if I wanted to do this, I could say do something like that, where I'd be hypothetically inserting CSS into the actual body tag, and from here I could say change the background color of the body. I could set it to anything I want. So let's get into it. I think you'll learn best if I show you. I've prepared this demo file. Let's make some elements. This isn't strictly necessary, but this is just best practice. Let's say sample text. Okay, looks good. Let's see how this looks. You can see it displays sample text and the title actually works. So let's change some stuff. The first type of CSS I want to show you is external CSS. So essentially, the most important thing to remember is the link tag. Now, this actually has no closing tag. In VS Code, it actually can't tell, but we know. Basically, what you do is you need to have a rel attribute, and you have to specify that you're linking a style sheet, and then you also need to reference the actual style sheet, which I haven't created yet, but actually let's create it now. I click on new file right here, and remember you need a .css extension. That way it'll be treated as a CSS file. Okay, I've made the CSS file, and now since it's in the same directory, all I have to do is copy this, but if it wasn't, I would need to copy the whole address in relation to the HTML file. This is how you actually use CSS. What I've essentially done is created an attribute. Well, I've accessed the body element, and I'm about to change its attribute. Let's say I wanted to align the text with the center. Remember, you need semicolons. It's best practice to use them here, because if you're using multiple attributes over multiple lines, you will need them. Say light blue. Yeah, it recognizes it. If you don't have this, the semicolon, the CSS, well, in VS Code it's different, but the actual web browser won't know where one attribute ends and the other begins, so you need these. as you can see, I've done some CSS. This attribute will align the body text to, funnily enough, the center. And this one will change the background color to light blue. Now we've saved both of them. Let's see how it looks. Oops. I could have just reloaded it. Yeah. Now, as you can see, this text is aligned with the center, and it's light blue. That was some external CSS. Now, let me show you the next simplest one, which is actually internal CSS. This one's actually really easy to grasp. Essentially, what you're doing is moving the style sheet into the HTML file and specifying that it's supposed to be treated as a style sheet using these two style commands. For example, I can pretty much copy this into here and remove this link because I no longer need it. Save. Now let's go back to here, and as you can see, nothing changed. That's good. Let's align it with the right. Let's see what happens. Yeah, as you can see, the text is now aligned to the right. That means this is actually working. Now I'll show you a different type of CSS, the last type. Inline CSS. This is interesting because it's actually different from all the others. Let's say I were to go into body. I would have to use this. It's a style attribute. You're setting the style attribute of the body to be whatever you want. You can choose anything. Let's say I wanted to make it have a different background color. I would set that to let's go with aqua. That's nice. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, you can see it's aqua now. And as you can see, since I've taken that previous code away, it's defaulted to the left. You see? I can also, I believe, it's the same code for every type of CSS. I can actually align the text with whatever I want. Let's go right. I can actually align the text to the right. This should look the same as before. And it does. It's really cool. So anyway, this has been Michael Fine. I've just showcased all three types of CSS. I hope you learned a lot from this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Goodbye.